Who is Bernie Madoff? Bernard Lawrence Madoff was an American financier who executed the largest Ponzi scheme in history, defrauding thousands of investors out of tens of billions of dollars over the course of at least 17 years, and possibly longer. He was also a pioneer in electronic trading and chair of the Nasdaq in the early 1990s. He died in prison on April 14, 2021 while serving a 150-year sentence for money laundering, securities fraud and several other felonies. Want to know more? Let's start now. Welcome everyone to my YouTube channel. So let's go. But before start, don't forget to hit the like button and click subscribe and turn all notification on to watch all other amazing stories. So let's go. What is a Ponzi scheme? Understanding Bernie Madoff. Despite claiming to generate large, steady returns through an investing strategy called split strike conversion, which is an actual trading strategy, Madoff simply deposited client funds into a single bank account that he used to pay existing clients who wanted to cash out. He funded redemptions by attracting new investors and their capital, but was unable to maintain the fraud when the market turned sharply lower in late 2008. He confessed to his sons, who worked at his firm but, he claims, were not aware of the scheme, on December 10, 2008. They turned him in to the authorities the next day. The fund's last statements indicated it had $64.8 billion in client assets. In 2009, at age 71, Madoff pleaded guilty to 11 federal felony counts, including securities fraud, wire fraud, mail fraud, perjury, and money laundering. The Ponzi scheme became a potent symbol of the culture of greed and dishonesty that, to critics, pervaded Wall Street in the run-up to the financial crisis. Madoff was sentenced to 150 years in prison and ordered to forfeit $170 billion in assets, but no other prominent Wall Street figures faced legal ramifications in the wake of the crisis. Madoff has been the subject of numerous articles, books, movies, and an ABC biopic miniseries. A brief biography of Bernie Madoff. Bernie Madoff was born in Queens, New York, on April 29, 1938, and began dating his future wife, Ruth Nail Pern, when both were in their early teens. Speaking by phone from prison, Madoff told journalist Steve Fishman that his father, who had run a sporting goods store, went out of business due to steel shortages during the Korean War. You watch that happen and you see your father, who you idolize, build a big business and then lose everything. Fishman says that Madoff was determined to achieve the lasting success his father hadn't, whatever it took, but Madoff's career had its ups and downs. Bernie Madoff's Ponzi scheme. It is not certain exactly when Madoff's Ponzi scheme began. He testified in court that it started in 1991, but his account manager, Frank DePascali, who had been working at the firm since 1975, said the fraud had been occurring for as long as I remember. Even less clear is why Madoff carried out the scheme at all. I had more than enough money to support any of my lifestyle and my family's lifestyle. I didn't need to do this for that, he told Fishman, adding, I don't know why. The legitimate wings of the business were extremely lucrative, and Madoff could have earned the Wall Street elite's respect solely as a market maker and electronic trading pioneer. Madoff repeatedly suggested to Fishman that he was not entirely to blame for the fraud. I just allowed myself to be talked into something and that's my fault, he said, without making it clear who talked him into it. I thought I could extricate myself after a period of time. I thought it would be a very short period of time, but I just couldn't. The so-called Big Four, Carl Shapiro, Jeffrey Pickauer, Stanley Chais, and Norm Levy, have attracted attention for their long and profitable involvement with Bernard L. Madoff Investment Securities LLC. Madoff's relationships with these men go back to the 1960s and 1970s, and his scheme netted them hundreds of millions of dollars each. Everybody was greedy. Everybody wanted to go on and I just went along with it, Madoff told Fishman. He has indicated that the Big Four and others, a number of feeder funds pumped client funds to him, some all but outsourcing their management of clients' assets, must have suspected the returns he produced or at least should have. How can you be making 15 or 18% when everyone is making less money? Madoff said. And now we reach the end of the video.
And thanks for watching. Out of this world.